Are you in a relationship which seems to be a little stale or boring? If you are, then let me say this. I totally know how you feel. The relationship is just so dull, it's driving you up the wall. But here's the thing. It's even worse than you think. Here's why. If you're bored, then it means your woman is bored too. And that's the bad news. If your relationship stays boring for much longer, then she'll very likely leave you to find a more exciting, stimulating life with another man. This means that knowing how to spice up your relationship can be really crucial if you want her to stick with you. It's true. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world would she leave me? I mean, sure, my relationship's boring, but I'm doing okay otherwise. Why can't she be okay too? The answer, it's all because of a certain flaw in the female mind. It's a weakness that all women have, but very few men have. That weakness is this: they're always on the lookout for novelty and excitement. It's not just an interest, it's a need. The female brain looks for novelty and excitement the same way it looks for food and water. And here's the thing. The vast majority of women in the world are fun-starved. I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say that society is tough on women. For example, if you dated around with many different women, society would call you smooth or suave or a ladies' man. But if a woman dated around with many different men, society would call her a slut. It's sad, but it's a reality. When it comes to novelty and excitement, women have much fewer options than we do. And here's the worst part. Women normally see their relationships as a place where they can let loose. They see men as their ticket to enjoy more novelty and excitement in their lives without being judged by society so much. But what happens when she realizes she's actually having less fun with you than before she hooked up with you? You bet, she'll want to leave, and the sooner the better. Make no mistake, spicing up your relationship isn't only nice to do, it's a total necessity. And luckily for you, this video will help you meet that necessity. This video will teach you how to spice up your relationship, not just in short bursts, but for the long haul. Sounds good? Great. Before we jump to the good stuff, I need a tiny favor. Right now, please take 3 seconds to scroll down and click the like button below. It'll only take you a moment, and your like will mean the world to me. Once you clicked like, I will share with you the top 3 reasons why relationships get stale in the first place. So please take that moment now, scroll down, and click like. I'll wait. Have you clicked like? Awesome. Now let's get started on how to spice up your relationship. First things first, why do relationships get stale in the first place? Now, relationships get stale for several reasons. Couples may settle into a predictable, boring daily routine. Or they may encounter lingering challenges, like raising children or paying the bills, that occupy their time and attention. Or they may simply stop feeling attracted to each other. And so on and so forth. Now, some men notice how their relationships have gotten so boring, and so they try to spice things up. They might take their lady out on a wonderful date, or they might go on a vacation together, or they might try some new tricks in the bedroom, and so on. These little gestures are all great, but they have one serious drawback. They don't last long. She'll feel happy and giddy for a few days, but after that, she'll settle back into the old boring routine. And here's what's worse. The more you use a certain tactic to spice up your relationship, the less effective it gets over time. For example, let's say you took her to her favorite restaurant last month, and she was thrilled about it. If you decided to take her there again this month, she'll be slightly less thrilled about it. On and on until the date doesn't sound so fun to her anymore. And so you'll be forced to find yet another short-term way to spice up the relationship. I hope you're seeing the problem now. Using short-term solutions is tedious, and you'll likely run out of ideas soon. So what should you do instead? The answer: you'll need to use a technique that will spice up your relationship not just for the short term, but for the long haul. I'm talking about a technique you can use over and over, and it'll never lose its novelty. You'll be spicing up your relationship for decades, and with a happy woman by your side, your life will be so much easier as well. So what's this technique? You're about to find out. Before we get to that though, I need another tiny favor. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button below this video. Your subscription will motivate me to keep coming up with helpful videos like this. So if you like what you've learned so far, then please take one moment now to click subscribe. I'll wait. Have you subscribed? If you have, that's awesome. Thanks again, I really appreciate it. Now back to the show. Here's how to spice up the relationship for the long term. The technique I'm about to teach you was developed by Rake. If you haven't heard of Derek before, he's a mentalist, hypnosis expert, and dating coach. He's also the foremost authority on mind control, specifically in the realm of dating and relationships. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the hokey Hollywood kind of mind control. Instead, I'm talking about scientifically established, peer-reviewed kind of mind control. It's the kind of mind control that's curing depression, breaking addictions, and helping people recover from emotional trauma all over the world. Think about it. If this kind of mind control can cure depression, how much more easily could it spice up a boring relationship? Yes, it's that powerful, and that power can be in your hands right now. The mind control technique you'll be using to spice up your relationship has a name. It's called fractionation. It's all about secretly, skillfully putting your woman on an emotional roller coaster. And that's where fractionation's power lies. Remember the flaw in the female mind we discussed earlier? Remember the innate female weakness for novelty and excitement? That weakness is most quickly and completely satisfied by one thing: an emotional roller coaster. Here's the gist of it. The more roller coastery her relationship is with you, the more excited and alive she'll feel. And that's why fractionation is so powerful. There are a billion ways to use it. There are a billion ways to put her on an emotional roller coaster. And yes, you can do it as often as you want. Here are a few examples of fractionation in action. When having conversations with her, you can alternate between happy and sad topics. The idea is to trigger emotional highs and lows in her in rapid succession. You can also tease her, then give her some loving reassurance after it. You're showing her that you're a jerk who loves her. You should also stop being afraid of making her mad. Happy wife, happy life is a myth, so you need to argue with her to establish her dominance. Do it. If she's really getting on your nerves, disappear from her life for a few days. Make zero contact, and you come back only when she apologizes and begs you to come back. That's fractionation. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is pretty controversial. It is. It's something you don't mention in polite company. For that matter, it's something you don't mention at all. But the science backs it up. Women's biggest emotional need is for novelty and excitement. And the best and most sustainable way to meet that need? Fractionation. If you don't want to use fractionation, that's totally fine. You can, after all, rely on the short-term fixes we discussed earlier. If you're okay with constantly coming up with new ideas to spice up your relationship and doing so for decades, then that's up to you. But if you want one technique that will spice up your relationship for the long haul, then fractionation is your answer. If you'd like to learn more about fractionation, then I have a treat for you. In just a moment, a link will come up inside this video. That link will take you to an online masterclass on mind control. The host, Rake himself. You can't get a better mentor than him. Trust me, because I know. So when you're ready, click on the link and sign up for Derek's online masterclass on mind control. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Go on and click that link right now.